Welcome back. In one of the previous steps, we understood the fact that a list can be used both as a queue and a stack. But we also learned that a list by default is not the most efficient representation of a stack and a queue. The most efficient representation of a stack or a queue in Python is something called a deque. It's a double-ended queue. That means you can remove values from the start or at the end very efficiently. Let's get a brief idea about the deque in this specific step. You can create a simple queue by using deque and passing it a list. So I'll have a list of values passed in. I'll pass in 0, 1 and 2. So this creates a simple deque. From this queue, I can either get values from the left or the right. So if I want to start processing values from the right, then I can do q.pop. You can see that the value from the right comes in, and you can add values as well. So I can say q.append a new value. So I can say q.append 3, and if I look at the queue right now, it would show 0, 1 and 3, and you can append more values as well. So I can say append 4, append 5, or you can even append at the start of the queue as well. The way you can do it is append left, and you can add in, I'll say -1. Actually, the name of the function is append left with a small l, and I can do -1. Now if I look at the queue, -1 would be the one at the start of the queue. So with a deque, you can either insert at the start and the end or remove values from the start and the end. This is much more efficient than the typical list when it comes to processing values at the start of the list or at the end of the list. We already looked at the q.pop. What does it return? It returns this one. The other operation is q.pop left, which returns the first value inside the queue. In this quick step, we looked at deque. Deque is one of the collections which is implemented in the collections module, and it's very useful when we would want to have typical queue processing or kind of a stack processing. For these use cases, deque is much more efficient than using a list. I'll see you in the next step. Until then, bye-bye.